Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2, and today we have got a lot of new information to go over. The developers just dropped the patch notes for Year 7 Season 2.3. This is what will likely be the final patch of this season. It is dropping tomorrow ahead of the finale, and in it we get a bunch of new details, including the revamp of stretch goals that is coming in just 1 week's time, the fact that they actually delivered a brand new exotic for that extra reward for the climax mission that we talked about yesterday, and a whole lot more. So let's jump right into it. If you enjoyed the video, want to stay tuned for all of the content I got coming this week, then you know the drill. Be sure to subscribe. Shout out and thank you to our channel members for your continued generosity and support of my content on here. Without you, I would not be able to do this as consistently as I do, so thank you so much. But without further ado, let's jump in. Alright, so we are here on the game's known issues board where we can see November 11th, 2025. This is tomorrow. We are getting Year 7 Season 2.3. They've yet to post the downtime details, but expect the game to go down at the usual time, and the estimated downtime will be somewhere between 3 and 5 hours. Once the game is back up, everything will be live. So let's jump straight in to what we're getting. We begin with stretch goals. For this season, it is going to be called Rank Up. And this is the Season Pass extension event that has happened for the past few seasons now. Important to note, this does not actually begin tomorrow. As you can read right here, it will begin on November 18th and run until December 2nd. I thought this would go until the 9th, but this could potentially indicate that the new season is on the way for December 2nd. That's right around the corner. But these first two paragraphs just outline everything that we know about stretch goals from these past, 2 times that it's been here, right? This is entirely free. You do not need to pay for it, nor own the premium season pass to take part. You will need to be at tier 100 on the season pass to begin taking advantage of stretch goals. You rank it up via season pass XP, which comes from notably sources like Manhunt Scouts, The Journey, priority objectives, weekly projects, and more. However, there is one key change that they put right here, that XP multiplier events will now apply to the rank up progression while those events are active. I believe on the season calendar, beginning on the 18th, we have a 2 times season pass XP event. So for that first week from the 18th to whatever the following Tuesday is, that's going to be your most ideal time to farm this because it will essentially be double the progress. Continuing on though, we get some of the new information because if you'll remember, last season's stretch goals was met with a good amount of criticism, so how have they taken that in? It says this iteration introduces 2 cash types, rank up and prestige rank up. The prestige version is obtained the same way as the regular one and appears on the reward track at the tier 10 reward, but it offers higher odds for exotic and named item drops. If you'll recall, that was the big point of feedback from last season, was that people who wanted to get the Lexington and the Turmoil were just having a tough time with how many things were in the loot pool. So let's take a look at what the drop values actually are for this stuff. So for the regular rank up cache, this would be equivalent to the same like Summer Swarm or Brooklyn activation caches that we had last times. These are the chances for there. Per every open, you have a 50% chance to get one of the new vanity items. That includes 8 pieces of the new Tom Sargent outfit. That also includes 4 arm patches and 2 weapon skins. Then, for each cache you open, you have a 10% chance to get one of the rare named items, as they call them. These are all of the ones on the list. I believe this is skewed exactly the same way as last time around, so you have a 30% chance for the Lexington, and then 5% for everything else. That includes the Turmoil and Caretaker. It also includes the Hunter exclusive items, and then all of the usual named items that you are accustomed to seeing in the Loot Goblins pool. So, I know off the bat some people might be like, this is just the same as before. Hang on, it gets better. If we scroll down here though, we then have seasonal and special exotics. These also have a 10% chance to drop with each cache. And then includes this season's exotics with the Shroud and the Overdogs. And then we also have the Nemesis, Liberty, Chatterbox, Dodge City, and Ridgeways. Each of these is at a 14.2% chance. Finally, again, just like before, we have the exclusive exotics. These have a 0.5% chance to drop from each of these caches. And that includes the Regulus, EB, Ravenous, Bighorn, Ouroboros, Provocator, Birdies, and Tinkerer. And each of these has a 12.5% chance, again, within this 0.5% pool. So, once again, these are going to be the standard rank up caches that I assume will be at like 101, 103, 105, just like we've seen before. But now at 110, like they outlined, we have the prestige rank up cache. And it says this is an upgraded version of the standard rank up cache, offering better guaranteed rewards and a higher chance of receiving exotic and named items. It says it also contains guaranteed seasonal items and crafting materials with additional chance-based drops. Alright, so compared to previously, whenever you open one of these prestige rank up caches, you get a 100% chance to get a vanity item that you do not have so far. So again, that's the outfit, arm patches, and skins. You get a 100% chance to get one of the rare named items from this list. This is also a toned down list compared to before. So if we scroll up really quickly, you know, this other named item list has all of the ones from the Loot Goblin, which a lot of people don't need. This is a very pared down list. It only has the Lexington, Turmoil, Caretaker, the Hunter items, and then the Handbasket, Harvest, and Chillout, which, aside from the Handbasket, these are the two most valuable Loot Goblin items. So it seems like they've made this a very curated list of items that people are actually going to want. Every single one of these prestige caches you open, you're going to get one of these. They each have a 12.5% chance, respectively, so you might not get the exact one that you want the first time, but this is a much better way to target these compared to normal. Then the chances to get a seasonal or special exotic raises up to 25% compared to 10 on the normal. Within that 25% chance, they then each still have the same 14.2% drop chance. And then the exclusive exotics get raised up by 500%, right? From 0.5% to 2.5% chance per cache to get one of these. And then, once again, if you do pull that rare drop, you then have a 12.5% chance to get any of the items on the list. So they have an improvements category right here. Let's see what it says. We have taken in a lot of player feedback and used it to shape the next Season Pass extension. The goal is to reduce frustration, give you more flexibility in how you choose to play, and make progression feel more rewarding. The key changes they made here, they said they added the prestige rank up cache. The cache has been added to give more consistent high value drops. It keeps the same core loot pool but increases the chances for vanity items, exotic pieces, and named gear. They do note the shorter event window here. The event now takes place over a shorter window, which keeps the pace more focused and helps the event stay fun from start to finish. And then XP multiplier events now apply. This gives you more flexibility in how you play when you want, instead of feeling locked into specific activities. If an XP micro event is active, you can take advantage of it and make progress at the same time. So I believe that is everything on stretch goals. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Do you think that this is a better way to handle stretch goals compared to before? I would say the main change is this prestige cache, which gives you significantly better odds to get some of those more desired items. Yeah, I'll be curious to know what you guys think. But if you thought the good news was over, it's not. Now we talk about the climax mission. So on November 11th, which is tomorrow, the climax mission for the Pact will become available, and you will be able to pick up 2 exotics from it. So the Tempest, which was originally intended to be this season's pinnacle reward, is still in the loot pool, and we're also adding the Blacklisters, a new pair of exotic knee pads. Shout out to the person who I saw a comment yesterday saying that they would never go in and add a new exotic. It's going to be like an arm patch. They did it. They put in a new exotic. Also, very important note right here. They say if you have the Tempest in your inventory or stash, because again, it is available through the summit. They made that change earlier in the season. Its blueprint will be available for purchase from Anaya. But here is the new exotic knee pads, again called the Blacklisters. The talent is called Ostracize. Shooting an enemy applies a mark. Only one mark can be active at a time. The mark disappears after 15 seconds or when the marked enemy dies. Get this though, you receive 600% amplified damage from the marked enemy. However, you deal 20% amplified damage to unmarked enemies. And it says if only one enemy remains in combat, the mark disappears and cannot be reapplied. Whoa. So this is very much staying on theme with the Shroud and Overdogs exotics that we got this season, with them, providing different amounts of amplified damage, but very interesting concept here. I'll be curious to know if that, dealing damage counts on like negotiators, right? Could you mark one target, shoot them, and then still be applying 20% amped damage to those around it? I don't know. That's where my mind goes, but I'm sure there will be some very interesting builds and combos to try out with these. So yeah, we got a new pair of exotic knee pads coming tomorrow. That's pretty awesome. Next up, we're seeing the return of the Shepherd event. They have not ran one of these since the beginning of Year 7 Season 1, so it's back. Starts on November 25th and runs until the end of the season. There will be 6 new projects to complete, including XP, exotic components, and reconstructed caches. And just like before, the Final Days project is going to award you the Caretaker, which is the named G36 that comes with Perfect Killer. And it looks like this is going to work just the same as before. To complete each project, you need to gain a Shepherd rank, which you get by receiving endorsements. But they do clarify that during the event, an XP boost will be active, so that calling for backup and staying with the agent will help grant you extra XP. If you don't have the Caretaker, I mean, this is obviously a great way to get it, but additionally, last time around, I remember that this was just a really solid event to get a lot of good materials from these caches. So yeah, get out there, help your fellow agent, and get some good rewards along the way. Finally, we move down to Other here. They fixed the issue with loadout swapping that caused talents to stack through a bridge. What is this, the 4th fix for the Tinkerer mask? Who knows? I guess we'll see what happens. There was an issue with Marauder drones where the model size did not match its hitboxes, which made it more difficult to hit. Fixed an issue where the Turmoil knee pads and Negotiator Dilemma gear set could unintentionally deal damage to player deployed turrets, so that's been taken care of. They fixed an issue where the Donate All Junk button could stop functioning after being used once during Expertise level up. There was a progression blocker within Beat 5 of the Captain Lewis Legacy Climax mission. That's been fixed. Some players were experiencing no comms granted upon the completion of the Crossroads Manhunt's Climax mission. That's been fixed. And finally fixed the issue with the special weapon cache not dropping any items after dropping the Halloween patch and trophy. So, there you have it, my friends. That is the patch notes for Year 7 Season 2.3, which is arriving to the game tomorrow, Tuesday, November 11th. And although there were only a couple of key topics there, they were quite important. The fact that we're getting a brand new exotic item out of the blue. I mean, they did say we were getting another reward, but pretty crazy that they pulled that off. And then the reformation of the Stretch Goals event, which is returning not tomorrow, but next Tuesday. What do you guys think? I would love to hear any and all of your thoughts about, that new exotic. Do you think the talent looks interesting? What do you think about the changes made to Stretch Goals? Do you think that is going to alleviate a lot of the frustration the players ran into last time? Let me know. Don't forget that tomorrow we have a dev stream going over the PTS for next season, which is just around the corner. And then, of course, the finale itself is going to drop. So if you don't want to miss any of it, be sure to tune in. I'm going to be going live here on the channel around 6:45 a.m. Pacific, 9:45 a.m. Eastern. Tune in live, watch the VOD, whatever you do. Thank you so much for interacting with my channel and my content. I will see you all back right here tomorrow. But until then, folks, RogueGold out.